Hello, my name is Isabel. I've had a total TMJ joint replacement as well as lower jaw surgery. My videos are to share what I've encountered and experienced throughout both my recoveries. Today, I wanted to talk about first bite syndrome. Everything I will touch on in this video comes from my experience as a patient, my dental assisting education background, and from quick online resources. If you have any questions or concerns, please direct them to your doctor, your dentist, or your oral surgeon. What is first bite syndrome? First bite syndrome is a condition that causes sharp, intense pain to your face or your jaw when you take your first bite of food. Usually, it is literally just the first bite of food, and then it gets better as you continue eating. This condition is linked to nerve or salivary gland damage, and this damage can make the nerves or the salivary glands overreact and become irritated, which causes pain. This is common following neck or jaw surgery. It can be very uncomfortable, but it tends to get better over time. So how did I know I had first bite syndrome? Well, it started about 1 month post-op of my total TMJ joint replacement. Whenever I would have my first bite of food, I would feel this intense rush of pain to my face. And oddly, the pain would occur on whatever side I was chewing on. The intense pain occurred sort of by my ears, and it felt like it was rushing down to about my cheeks. I also felt a rush of saliva coming in right where your duct is up by your maxillary first molars. When this would happen, it was super uncomfortable, and I would have to tap on a table to try and distract myself until it was over. It would usually only last about 5 seconds, and then it went away, and I could eat the rest of my meal with no pain at all. It didn't bother me too much because it really was only on the first bite of food, and I could eat the rest of the meal pain-free, but it would occur quite often, so I felt it was necessary to bring up with my surgeon at the 3-month post-op appointment. I told him that sometimes it feels like my saliva glands are overworking, and he said, "Does it happen on your first bite of food?" And I was like, "Yeah, like how did you know?" And he explained that it's first bite syndrome. So I went home and I did more research, and I asked one of my support groups on Facebook about it, and surprisingly so many people experienced this, and I genuinely had no idea. So what can salivary glands be triggered by? Salivary glands can be triggered and activated when you see, smell, taste, or think about food. Your salivary glands are also activated when you start chewing for chemical digestion. And then just to note, if you were to consume acidic, sour, or spicy foods, then that tends to trigger a stronger salivary response. There are 3 salivary glands: the parotid, the submandibular, and the sublingual. And each of these glands have ducts that produce the saliva into your mouth. The general function of these 3 glands is for chemical digestion, to moisten food, to help swallow it, and just for general oral health, it can help wash away some bacteria. The parotid gland is the largest of the 3, and from reading everyone's stories on the Facebook support group and from my own experience, it seems that the parotid gland is where the most common pain is. I saw a few experiences where people felt it underneath their tongue in the sublingual or lower in their jaw where the submandibular is. So I had the question, does jaw surgery or a total TMJ joint replacement directly cause first bite syndrome? And just from a quick Google search, the answer is no. But the approach of these surgeries, you're working very closely to where the glands are and the nerves are. For my lower jaw surgery, I didn't have this problem at all, but the total TMJ joint replacement, which was more recent, that definitely affected it. So is there anything that can help first bite syndrome? From a quick online search, there were tons of resolutions, but the main one being just giving it time to heal and do its thing. For me, I've noticed that it has gotten better over the months and is way less intense than it used to be. I also read that starting with smaller bites or sips could be good to start getting your salivary glands activated at a slower pace rather than just taking your first big bite. And then also having a distraction technique. For me, again, it was tapping the table, and that was just to give my brain something else to focus on while it lasted. But again, it only lasted about 5 seconds. There's other solutions that are more medical, such as Botox injections, medicine, physical therapy. If you are experiencing this first bite syndrome or you think you are, I would go to your healthcare provider and just get it checked out and see if they can offer any treatment for it. For me, I'm happy to let mine just run its course and try to heal over time. Like I said before, it doesn't bother me too much because it's literally on the first bite of my meal. The rest I can eat pain-free. I would rather deal with this first bite syndrome than the chronic pain that I was in before I had my joint replacement. Myself and a few other people in the Facebook support group discussed this briefly, and I don't know if it's directly correlated with first bite syndrome, but whenever I'm startled or something stressful happens, I feel the same sensation of the rushing pain. For example, I was playing an arcade game and then all of a sudden I lost and the big red light flashed and it was like a rush. It was so weird and bizarre. I also felt it when I was walking my dog in the snow and I fell up a snowbank, but I caught myself with my hands, but all that feeling just rushed. So I'm wondering if it has something to do with fight or flight when your body's a little startled. Because in some cases of fight or flight, I believe that you can have an increase of saliva into your mouth. So it's very interesting to me. It makes me wonder about if it has to do with adrenaline in the body or if it's simply just like taste buds. I don't know. I just know that it's weird. I never thought that I would experience something like this. It's been interesting, but it's more comforting to know that other people have experienced it too, and I'm truly never alone in this jaw surgery recovery journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.